Hi and welcome to another episode. And what we've got here is some Turtle Beach Stealth 700s Generation 1. So they've been out for quite a while. I've had these, I don't know if it was at launch or anything, but I've had them since I bought a Xbox One X. I think that was 5 years ago, something like that. Anyway, the point is they've had their life a fair bit. The leatherette round it has started to break. They've had a fair bit of use, but not an awful lot of use. Fluff is collected on them and everything like that. So I wanted to replace these ear cups because, not just because of the leatherette starting to break off. You've seen it on other ones, you know, it tears off and it can end up inside your ear hole and stuff, and you don't want that. And the foam that's inside has started to go like really soft in some areas, but for some reason is still tough in another. I don't know if it's like twisted or something, but like there you can see, maybe, no, not really. It's like that's the edge of the sponge. That bit's firm there, but down here it's soft. You can. Anyway, it all needs getting replaced. So I've bought some replacements. Now they're not like for like. They cost £10, these ones, or just under. They have leatherette on the outside, but more of a felty sort of feel on the inside, and it looks leatherette on the inside as well, but with holes to maybe help it breathe a bit more than what the original ones do, and it's sort of flatter, if you can maybe see at that angle. Whereas these ones, the stitching that can sort of sits behind your earlobe, or your ear as a whole, I suppose you called it. But anyway, the idea is you take these off. It's a bit of a shame that we end up losing the palm tree, but no big deal. No function towards how it's actually used, so they come off rather easy. They do supply a spludger. They weren't the only people selling these. There was another seller selling them for £15 on Amazon, but these ones were just under £10. Now, around the edge there is a seam, and I'm just going to put that at the bottom just because, and let's see how well we get on with putting this on, because there's no real instructions apart from it's kind of obvious. You need to get this edge in this seam all the way down here, hence the spludger. I think that's supposed to be there to help you get it on at the final bit, or maybe even to the start. Let's see how well we can do. I'm just going to do one on camera and let's see how long it takes. Might be a little bit long. There we go, starting to get some of it down there. Obviously I don't want to tear the leatherette. It's probably something that could do with being more me looking straight down on it. And I realise at the end, I'm sure there's going to be people going, well, you didn't show what it looked like. Well, I can show what it looks like on it, but no, I can't show you what it looks like on my head, because I never show my face on videos. So you just have to take my word for it if I decide it's comfy or not, because it's all personal preference anyway. And this is a little bit more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. It is definitely easier to look straight down. So what I'm doing is put my thumb inside to help push, and then I'm using my fingers to try to stretch it across. And get that stay. Now the reason why I'm showing this is that it's not just for this headset. These particular cups supposedly fit other headphones as well, and you can actually buy replacement cups for lots of headphones. So it's really just to put it out there that you don't necessarily always have to get rid of your headphones just because the ear cups have gone a bit funny. Oh, this is definitely more fiddly than I thought it would be. So, some of you may have noticed the post that I put out this past week. I realise later in time that's not going to make much sense, but I've had a cough for over a month and it's made it difficult to record anything. And then this past week or so, it got to a point of like it was difficult to talk at all, which is nice for my wife, but for me wasn't so good. So trying to catch up on making videos. So this one's a bit of a simple one. First, I'll do a more complicated one this coming week. There we go. I think this is maybe where you need the spludger to get that last bit in. Let's see. Trying to do it all on video. No, that seems to be actually making it a bit more worse. Seems to be easier to actually push your thumb inside and stretch it that way rather than using a spludger. There we go. Rotate it round a little bit, it might fall in there a little bit. There we go. Could do with being a little bit tighter. Seems to be as good as it gets. Can we shove it in a little bit more? Maybe that's what the spludger's for. Ah, maybe that is what the spludger's for. Need to push it in a little bit more down there. Yep, I can see that's what that's for. So I'll play around doing that a little bit more, because if you've been keeping with me or not, it's going to get very boring watching me push that in all the way around with the spludger and then applying it to the other one as well. So magic of this, back in a moment. So would I recommend this? Yes, I would. It wasn't particularly easy, but it also wasn't that difficult to get them changed across. The differences of the sponge is a bit deeper compared to what they were on the original ones, and the stitching isn't resting just behind your ear. This gives you a lot more space for your ear to fit in. I've got ears and they fit in here perfectly fine. So even if you've got like a might have problems with a slightly larger head than what I've got of making this particular headset actually fit, but the ear cups I would pretty much guess your ears would fit in there, unless you're like BFG or something like that. But even so, if they fit in here, they're definitely going to fit in these ones. And if these are a bit tight, you've probably got some more playroom with these. As I was going to say though, don't just think this particular headset, they're going to work on other headsets. All you've got to do is make sure that in the description of the ones that you purchase are actually titled in there that, you know, your headset fits. So just make sure they match up, and also watch out for generations 1 and 2 and 3 and everything like that of headsets, just in case they've changed the way that the ear cup design is. I know on these Turtle Beach Stealth 700s Generation 2, it's a slightly different shape, so watch out for that. But until then, check in the description for the Patreon and the Discord links. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button and that notification bell. But as always, happy gaming.